So, I was originally going to make this into one super long video because yesterday was kind of a train wreck and a half, but it can kind of be separated into two stories because they are different, but it all just yesterday flowed together. Um, but this story of this incident at the pharmacy happened after the story in the other video that I'm going to make. I don't know if I'll post them at the same time or not, but this happened after I learned the things that I did. So essentially, I went to my GP and found out that I am a lot sicker than I thought. And because my immune system had been overactive from autoimmune diseases, some of my vaccines that I had gotten normally were not working anymore, and I needed to get them again. So she said that they did not have them in the office and that I could go to my pharmacy and get them. And I needed hepatitis A and B and the pneumonia vaccine. So um, I was terrified because I had gotten the bad news that I did, and I was just wanting to go, go, go and get everything done. I was panicking in my head, and I start rushing whenever I get panicked. And I went to the pharmacy that I used to pick up my meds, where normally everyone's super duper nice, especially the pharmacy techs. Love them to death. But the pharmacist came to talk to me after I had told a pharmacy tech that I was needing vaccines, and she said that she would have to go get the form and get the pharmacist because she asked which ones I was wanting, and I told her those three that I mentioned. And the pharmacist herself came over and talked to me, and she said, "Why are you needing a pneumonia vaccine? You don't need that. You're not 65 or older." And I said, "I'm aware. I'm immunocompromised. My doctor suggested that I get it, and she did not have it in the office and told me I could get it at a pharmacy." And she basically told me that wasn't a good enough reason, and I was really in full fledged panic mode. And I said, "I'm sorry, I'm just trying to follow my doctor's orders. I don't want to die." And she rolled her eyes and said, "You're not gonna die," and just was not taking me seriously. And I came to find out later that the pneumonia vaccine for people who aren't over 65, there's a list that comes with the vaccine of um, approved conditions as to why you would need it if you're not 65. And immune system diseases and immunocompromised people is on that list. And she didn't bother taking it out and said that that was not a reason to get it. And so I somehow remained composed and didn't flip out on her like I have flipped out on people in the past over health related things when I get wound up, and just walked off. And I went to a different pharmacy that I don't use, but is a good one in my mind anyway, and told them the same exact thing that I told the other pharmacy initially, and they got the paperwork started. And again, the actual pharmacist did come up, and she had the actual list that came with the pneumonia vaccine of health conditions that would cause you to need it, and just went over it with me and double checked that mixed connective tissue disease and lupus and Sjogren's and being on an immunosuppressant like Plaquenil was reason to get it. And I successfully got all three vaccines, and that was that. I don't know why it was such an issue with the first pharmacist, and um, really my biggest problem was her attitude with it, because it may not be a big deal to her. She may be totally healthy, but this really is my life, and I really am afraid of dying, especially after some of the news that I had gotten. Um, and I'm not typically a person to go out of my way to complain about something, but I did call the store and talk to the manager and said what had happened. And they tried to, compensate me with gift cards or whatever. And I said, "No, I don't want that. It's not like I'm going to stop using your store. I just don't want her to be able to do that to anyone else." Um, it was very invalidating and degrading, and I was just so scared as it is. So that's that story. I don't want to name any of the pharmacies because I'm really not in the mood to get sued. But um, Yeah, I guess that falls under the category of having to be your own advocate. It's not like I was asking for anything insane. My doctor told me herself to request exactly what I requested, and I'm just glad that I was able to get it in general. And injection sites are a little sore, but I'm good to go. And I see my new rheumatologist in March, and I guess I will go from there. But there's my pharmacy horror story of the month. Kind of afraid to go back there, but yeah, that's that. I never know how to end videos, but bye.